What is the best way to start flipping houses? Most beginners think the first step is to find a house, and that's why they fail. The best way to start flipping has nothing to do with buying a property. I'll show you the path that we've used to get thousands of people started, and it's not what you think. You'll know the smartest first step to take when starting your flipping journey, so you don't waste time or money. If you know nothing or very little about flipping houses, I'm going to encourage you to not start with the property. I want you to start with your education. You really have to know what you're doing, because when you jump into a project like this, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that are on the table, and a lot of people's lives that are affected if you make good or bad decisions, either way. So I encourage you to get your education out of the way first. How do you do that? Well, first, find someone to follow that has what you want. If you want to flip houses and be successful, hey, maybe you could follow us. Subscribe, watch all of our videos, get to know who we are. But find someone that knows what they're talking about, because it's really difficult in today's world to understand. Is someone a social media guru? Is someone trying to get followers? Or is someone really a true investor that's out there giving you real advice, right? From hardcore experience over 30 years of doing this. So find someone that has what you want and that understands how to be successful as a real estate investor, and start to follow what they advise. Now, I'm not saying you do exactly that, but you can also get plugged into local RIA groups. RIA stands for Real Estate Investment Association in your local area. Be careful, because a lot of times when you go to those events, people are just trying to get you to partner up with them on deals or get you to buy what they're trying to sell. So be cautious when you go in, and just be friendly and get to know people, but don't make any quick decisions the first night of arriving at those. And make sure the education that you're going after is specific to what you want to do. Don't get sidetracked when you get in those other groups and say, wow, I wanted to flip a house, but you're talking about multifamily, and you're talking about assisted living, and hey, you're talking about Airbnbs. Don't be distracted, right? Get your education on what you're looking to get educated on. That's number one. I'm going to give you an education right now to get started if you want to flip houses. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. I want you to go out and build your buy box. You see, when you build your buy box, you're going to narrow your focus on all the houses that are out there. It's very overwhelming to see all the houses on the market today and say, which one should I bid on? What's a good deal? What might be a good house to flip? Well, if I can get you to define your buy box better, that will help you be able to know what houses to look for and narrow down your search. That's the problem with most investors now, is that their net is just too wide. If you narrow your focus, you'll be able to see that. Let me give you an example. You ever bought a new car, or a new car to you? Did you ever notice that as soon as you bought that car, that everybody in your world suddenly just had that car in the same color? All of a sudden you're like, wow, look at all those cars. It's not that they weren't there. It's in our brains, we have something called the reticular activating system. It means that once we see something or start to focus on something, we will see more of it in our environment. So once you define the buy box, or the perfect house that'll be a flip for you, then you'll start to see more of those. That's number one in the education step. Having a buy box will help you define and buy the right deal. And once you find the right deal, then number two comes into play, and that is having money to do your deal. I'm going to suggest that you always use OPM or other people's money to fund your flip. Not just purchase and renovation. I'm going to encourage you to actually borrow 110% of the deal. Let me explain why. As you borrow from, let's say, a hard money lender, they'll usually give you 80% of the purchase price and up to 100% of the renovation costs. There's a gap there of 20%. I'm going to recommend that you use private money to borrow that 20%. But you don't want to have cash flow problems during a renovation. So if you don't have a lot of cash set aside, I'd borrow a little bit of your profit up front and have that in the deal on your initial promissory note with your private lender. If you do that, that'll give you some cash and some breathing room so you can make contractor payments, interest payments, and your basic living expenses while you're flipping this house. The biggest mistake that so many investors make when they get started is they are underfunded. This is true for almost any business, but certainly for real estate investors, if you're underfunded, you can get in trouble. So borrow enough on that property so that you have enough money to buy the house, to renovate the house, and keep the cash flow rolling throughout the deal. Again, the best way to flip houses, I'd start small. I would not start with a full renovation that needs a new roof, it needs foundation work, it needs to have all new siding, all new doors, all new windows, and it has to have major landscaping work done, a pool filled in. I'd be very careful about tackling something that big. I would stick with cosmetic for your first flip. Find something that needs a little paint, It needs to have some new kitchen cabinets put in, which are very simple to go in, by the way, and vanities in the bathroom, so you can make this house look beautiful and turn around and sell it for maximum profit. This is the typical flip that we see on TV, especially on channels like HGTV, where they make it look like you can flip a house in one day, which you can't. But cosmetic will be a lot easier for your first flips, and it's less risk to you, and they're pretty easy to sell. And lastly, surround yourself with a great network. Don't just get the education we talked about up front, but surround yourself with good coaches, good mentors, good contractors, good home inspectors. Get chummy with code enforcement in your neighborhood. And if you don't know about that, make sure you go to our channel and learn all about code enforcement and how to get the right permits for your job. Build relationships with local real estate agents and also with hard money lenders, and start to build up your private lender base. If you want the best way to start flipping, it's not finding some random deal and getting lucky. It's focusing on your strategy. Go watch the next video, the crucial steps that most new investors miss, where I'm going to detail exactly how you can put together your buy box and how you can do 110% financing on your deals and so much more. Listen, the link is in the description below. Go check it out for yourself and see if flipping is what you really want to do.